फेक पॉज कर दे, मैंने माइक तो कनेक्ट ही नहीं किया।
ये सब जाएगा अंदर, काट देंगे बीच बीच में जो भी है।
Also, sometimes dogs might bark outside.
That's okay. We've had much worse. We've had much worse.
I remember, I think one episode you guys were talking about, I don't remember which episode this is, but you guys were talking about PVR. You talk about that, and I legitimately heard like traffic noises, cars moving past. I don't know who it was.
It was Karthik's.
Karthik's okay.
That was that. I think that was that Q&A episode with Arijit, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That time Karthik was outside. Chalo, okay. I'm starting now. Okay?
Welcome amidst us, the biggest star this country has ever produced, my friend and everybody's favorite. Give it up for the one and only Salman Khan. Salman Khan! कैसे हो सलमान? सब कुछ ठीक ठाक यार?
हाँ सब ठीक.
हाँ, all set?
All good, all set.
मैं कल यार फोन कर रहा था, तेरा फोन लगा नहीं यार.
तो घर के कॉन्वर्सेशन बाहर करेगा, यहाँ पर करेगा.
हाँ?
घर की बातें अब तू यहाँ पे मत करना.
Hello. Welcome back to Queen is Dead. I am Sanjeet. I have Dhruv with me, and today we have a very special guest with us, Maheedhar, who's a filmmaker. Maheedhar, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Maheedhar, and I'm not aspiring filmmaker, not filmmaker yet, not there yet. But yeah, I'm an aspiring filmmaker.
No, you're a filmmaker. Don't say aspiring and all. Aspiring doesn't work here. It's filmmaker only.
Okay, so I'm a filmmaker based out of studying in Bangalore, but I am from Hyderabad, Chennai, both sides. And nothing much. I really like movies, and really nice to be here. Thanks for calling me here. I actually really wanted to be on this, and the fact that you called me, I'm very happy actually. I get to talk about
that
movies.
someone wanted to be on a podcast.
Man, I love talking about movies, man. I will talk about movies all day. I don't really care.
You know, I invited him back in October or something.
Oh yeah, the plan.
We'll do one.
The plan changed from Twin Peaks to something else to Mahaan. Finally, I think
Twin Peaks. Wow. I mean, that would require homework.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I don't have time to rewatch Twin Peaks again, because watching Twin Peaks is basically a month of time gone for me, because I can't binge on Twin Peaks.
I think you can just watch season 1, skip season 2, watch the movie.
3, right?
Yeah, that's it. Enough.
Yeah, I've done that, so I know about that.
You did the same. You did that only.
Yeah.
Season 2
is something though. Huh? Season 3 is really something.
I think midway season 2.
I've not seen season 3, but I've seen only till season 2. So
season 3 is Lynch Unleashed.
Yeah. I know.
There's one episode of season 3 that is just broke television.
There's what, episode 7 or 8, right? The David Lynch Tree of Life. Yeah.
I know about that episode. Like it's been so much in pop culture. Of course, I'll know about it. It's like that famous.
That still won't take away from whatever you think, though. I think it's just something else. Yeah. It doesn't reduce the impact of it.
Soon, in another eternity, we'll do an episode. Considering the kind of stuff that you have to do. But anyway, so today we are talking about the latest Amazon Prime release, Mahaan, starring Vikram and his son Dhruv Vikram, Bobby Simha and other star casts. And it is directed by Karthik Subbaraj, who is one of my favorite directors working. And we'll go with initial thoughts. Maheedhar, you go ahead with your initial thoughts about the film.
Yeah, so my initial thoughts are, first of all, when I started off the movie, I don't know why I really didn't like it. I thought it was really bad. I legitimately I was really sad because I was expecting something, and the movie was, the first 2 hours of the movie was just really, I didn't like it. It was going in a way that I didn't like. I was like, man, this is really bad. And then I think I'm the only one with this opinion. I have talked with other people and they don't really agree with me, but I think the last 45 minutes of the movie changed a little bit of what I thought about the movie. I think the pacing, this how he sets the characters and the conflicts and everything finally come into place, and I think that's the best part of the movie. But generally, I was disappointed. My thoughts I'm very disappointed.
Dhruv.
So I'm the amateur here. So this is the first Karthik Subbaraj film I've seen, and I've been told multiple times that I need to see his better works so that but as a newcomer, I genuinely thought it was good. Like genuinely in the sense that I enjoyed it. Like I see the problems in it. I think it's overlong, which I think every film I think nowadays is. So I don't know how long that criticism holds in any case. But I enjoyed the style. I thought the first half was fine actually, and I think the reason I thought it was good is I kind of liked how quickly he went through every beat. So it was like almost on 1.5 speed, or when you like put fast forward on that playback, right? And that kind of gave it an accelerated energy, which I thought like was what the guy himself was trying to get by going into this lifestyle. So I thought that way the first half I contextualized it for myself. The second half was also good. Like I again, like it was, I enjoyed the film. Like it does what I think I've mentioned multiple times, that it takes a very familiar genre template, and then infuses it with its own style. And I think I also like the themes it's talking about. Like I'm a fan of whatever it's talking about. So yeah, I liked it. Though I should preface that I saw this after Gehraiyan. So however that impacts my love or like liking of the film is up for debate. Yeah.
I fairly liked it unexpectedly because Maheedhar had already told me it was slightly disappointing. So my expectations were fairly low. I'm like since like I watched Iravi, that's where I caught up with his filmography. I was always like, okay, from whatever next he does, I'll always be interested to watch it. And since then he's done like Mercury, Petta, Jagamatandiram, and now this. So I was fairly excited because first of all, I wanted to watch it in the big screen and everything that comes along with the whole experience. Watching like a big star and a Karthik Subbaraj direction coming together. But like with no option available, laptop, I think it worked for me. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Probably also because Jagamatandiram was supremely disappointing for me. And it was so heartbreaking because I like Karthik Subbaraj so much. Like I really, really like his films. I really like his filmmaking style, the way he approaches a certain subject and how he treats it from point A to literally the point Z where he ends the film at. And he's not just like a normal filmmaker. There's like a lot of influence of certain films and everything that comes along with it. So when I went into Mahaan, I had certain expectations. I was with the film at a certain point, then I wasn't, but then I was with the film again towards the end. Like how Maheedhar said, the last 45 minutes were really, really solid because that is where the whole core of the film lies, which is also why it works for me. But without the first half for me, I think the second half also wouldn't work. And that's just what I think. Yeah, I mean, those are my initial thoughts. I think we can get into like full-blown discussion. So I think we can just talk like spoilers and everything that comes, what we
Spoiler
thought.
warning.
So yeah, but I don't think so. There is any spoiler-worthy anything.
Does the trailer reveal everything type of thing?
Most of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, if that was like very expected from the first point, the film was announced as well.
I mean, the
it's
opening
going to
of the
have
film,
some sort of
opening of the film itself kind of begins sometime later, and then you recap a lot of events. So I guess there's that sort of.
So Maheedhar, you go ahead. What like about the film? Like, what do you think? Like, what works or what doesn't work for you?
Okay, first of all, with the film, first we have to preface Karthik Subbaraj. I think as a filmmaker, his career. So Karthik Subbaraj. Okay, so there is this film companion interview, and in that it's a roundtable of Tamil filmmakers, and Bharatwaj Rangan asked the director Parthiban. He asked, "What do you think has changed in the last decade?" This was in 2019, and he says Karthik Subbaraj.
I know about this.
And that's a true statement because Karthik Subbaraj has changed Tamil cinema from the time he came. So like, he was because Karthik Subbaraj came from like nothing. He participated in the show called Nale Yakunar, which means Director of Tomorrow, and he made short films on there, and all of those all the people from Nale Yakunar are like big filmmakers. So Alphonse Kudran, director of Premam, was on Karthik Subbaraj's team. He was the editor.
Yeah.
Bobby Simha, Vijay Sethupathi, both of them were on his team. Nalan Kumar Swamy, who made Sudu Kavam, he was also participating in Nale Iyakkunar. So they all like a lot of Tamil cinema came from Nale
Grew up
Iyakkunar.
together.
Yeah, grouped together. And after that, he made Pizza, Jigar Tanda, and those movies are revolution. Like they changed Tamil cinema for better, and he brought along a change of like how to write characters. Because Karthik Subbaraj, all of Karthik Subbaraj's characters are like not good people. Like they're generally like people who are not they will like they are not good people, because you take like Jigar Tanda, the protagonist, like Siddharth's character in that, he's not a good guy. He's like, oh, I will fall in love with this girl. I will pretend to fall in love with this girl so that I can get information on this guy. And even in Iravi, like all of the movies that they're all bad people. And Peta also, like Rajni has his dialogue. He says, which basically says, I'm a good guy, but I'm not really compassionate about anything else. Like he doesn't really like compassionate about others. So all his characters have this template of like they are all not good people. And I think that's the main change she brought along, where he's like, you can write like the characters who are not like completely black and white. Like the characters have both shades of black and white, and that's so he brought along this revolution of like nice writing style, the way he makes his films, and the inspirations, like you said, like he inspired from so many filmmakers. He brought along a lot of that, and so that's like so in Mahaan, right? He takes like he goes for like a fully mass. This thing, like he kind of abandons what he does usually, and he just goes for like overblown, like, okay, mass, we have this character. And for I found the film also very over intelligent. I don't know if that's just me. The Gandhi philosophy, like it's just put on a lot, like it comes on a title card, and then obviously his whole life is that he's named Gandhi Mahaan. But they just spout that Gandhi philosophy too much, and at that point it just becomes like redundant for me. Like it doesn't work. And the thing is, like I was talking about Karthik Subbaraj's characters, they're not caricatures. Like you take Peta also, which is I love Peta. I love it. It's a movie
I love it. Yeah.
important to me. And in that also, like Rajini's character is not a caricature. He's a complete character. In that 2 hours you spend with him, you can find out, you can believe his character and what he does. In Mahaan, I feel like Vikram's character is a caricature of this person. Of like, okay, he's like so the typical rags to riches story. It feels like a caricature of something like what we've seen before, right? I do like the setup is really good, because the setup is like, oh, he's a 40-year-old man. He's forced to live his life without like he can't do anything he wishes, and then suddenly one day he just breaks free and he just goes mad, because after 40 years of living repressed like that, you will obviously somebody will break. And the setup is really good for that, and the setup also that his built on the same incident, his son comes back, his son's life is also built changed on that. The setup, and like on paper it sounds really great. I think the potential for that is really great, but like I said, they kind of make it a caricature, and you have a lot of all these side characters, like you take them out, it doesn't really matter what they are doing. Like like Bobby Simha's character, you can probably, anybody could do that. Like Bobby Simha was great in the movie, don't get me wrong. But what, like the side characters don't really matter, and like it just that's what disappointing for me, because Subbaraj's writing style, he incorporates all the characters. Like I hate to keep referencing, but go back to Jigar Thanda. You have Guru Somasundaram's character, and he's not the acting teacher. Yeah, right. And that character, he's not a main character in the movie. He comes in very late, but still his character is so well written that you wouldn't feel like he's a comedic relief. It feels like he's a complete character. And in this movie, characters keep coming and going, and like you have that minister character who comes in, who just like at this point you're just like, why is he here? He just plays like the typical politician guy who's like he has the evil intention and scheming. And there's little bits of good writing there. Like some moments are there, they linger nicely, but more than that, that's what the disappointing is. The movie, the filmmaking is nice. I like the filmmaking. Like obviously Santosh Narayanan is great. He's on form.
He's in god form right now. Huh?
Oh my god! The album, I've been bumping the album for the past week. I think I love the album, and the background score is great. The filmmaking, Shreyas Krishna, he's like the top
DOP.
cinematographer right now.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Rocky also he did, and
Watching Rocky on a big screen on that cinematography, some of the shots you were just like, how did they take those shots? I feel like I think if Rocky comes on an OTT, you have to do an episode because that movie is just something else. But yeah, we digress.
We know which next episode Maheedhar is coming on first.
But I'll digress. So Shreyas Krishna, some of the filmmaking is really nice, but like I said, the whole movie lies on the writing because it's and it just really lets you down in that. Like the main focus is Mahaan and his son. And his son comes in literally an hour and a half into the movie, so you're just waiting for. And I think like the trailer is also a problem because it reveals so much that you're just like, okay, you see the bits and you're like, okay, I'm waiting for his son to come in. Like when you obviously you're expecting him to come in. How is he going to come in? I will give him that. The son's entry is surprisingly like nice. I liked it because it's not like a mass template where he's like coming in, running in with like, dancing, everything, but that it's subtle. And his character also I really like his ideals, like I said, the ideals of what he's built on is really well done. Where he's like, okay, he's like, I will leave drinking, I will leave and I won't touch drinking or cigarettes or anything. And instead he adopts that healthy lifestyle, just like a complete opposite of his dad. Those I really liked, but overall it's bits and pieces it works, but overall it kind of fails to join as a whole as a movie, I think.
I think there are certain set of problems in terms of his writing from what he used to do before and what he does now. So I feel whenever I used to watch his films, like from Iravi to Jigar Thanda and even Petta to a certain extent, the thing always has been the setup. The setup usually is so solid that whatever decision your character makes, they're never contrived. Like they don't happen just for the sake of happening. So that when you arrive at a certain point, you feel it is so earned that you will also get invested in it. So now, like going back to Jaga Mein Tandiram, what happened was, like I'll put that little bit here because I feel that provides a little bit of context in terms of how the setup works and how the setup doesn't work. In Jaga Mein Tandiram, it begins really well for me because I am with the character Surli and like his lifestyle, and he's like like reckless personality who's like just who doesn't have morals at that point, and he's going just all out and everything. But the point where he goes to London, I was like, that is too convenient for Surli as a character to like. It felt too immediate to me. Like I was like, that doesn't seem possible for me happening. That is happening. For in Petta, like that is done well. Even like Iravi, every decision in Iravi is like, Iravi though is one of my favorites, but that's not the point. In Jigar Thanda, how he actually goes there, how his friend exists in that world, and how he reaches up to the interval point, let's say, which is the really solid point where he gets is in the middle of all the chaos. In this film, I feel it's not on terms of his best setups, neither is it on the Jaga Mein Tandiram. It's right in the middle for me. I liked how also he's doing some very interesting things with the title cards of
cards.
The years. Yeah, first the years.
Years.
Start
Okay.
2016, then 1990,
70s,
1968, then 96, then 98, then 2003, then 2008. Yeah, that's how it goes. And then he's also doing the pack of cards thing, which is like the king, the ace, the king, the joker, I don't know. And
I didn't understand the point of
that. Neither did I understand
which
one is.
That's what I'm trying to say. He's trying to do something with that, but it's not really having an impact in terms of a narrative. Like he tried doing that in Jaga Mein Tandiram also. Like he's introducing characters with title cards on the screen. It felt like very Guy Ritchie-ish that he's trying to do.
Okay.
Like they end up like every character there's like this is Surali, this is Ramadas, something like Ramadas, right? Oh, Shivadas. Okay, Shivadas. Yeah, something like that. But all of those are like interesting ideas, but they're not getting translated in terms of how you're going to get impacted by, he's doing something very fancy and the stylish. When Guy Ritchie does something stylish, you're sort of like enamored by it. You're like mesmerized. He's doing something fancy, and you're like, this style is very magnetic in a way to you as a viewer, even though it may not have that much meaning in general. But here the style isn't working in general. But apart from that, my problem has been of his underwriting and overwriting rather than his direction. I think his directing is still as good as it was before. Like he's doing some really fantastic things. Like from Jigar Thanda, like everything is so well written, like nothing is overwritten. They are not like scenes that would exceed like a certain point, and neither they are underwritten that you're like, why does the scene exist here?
Yeah.
And when you look at Petta now, in Petta also, how it transitions from like a film about a character, it also transitions to something which has like a lot of plot, lot of plot going forward with it. But in Jagame Tandiram, I thought it was very overwritten. I don't know what it was going for. And the whole social issue thing, I was like, this has gone somewhere else completely for me. I can still be with it. I mean, because it's a noble intent, but that doesn't serve any purpose in terms of as a story or for the character itself. But somehow, because it's so overwritten, like and I think a lot of scenes didn't make it to the Netflix cut.
They cut out a lot of things apparently.
Right. Yeah. Because there was a lot in the trailer, and the trailer was so well cut. I thought this movie is going to be like a banger kind of movie. Like, I'm going to have a blast.
So why did they cut it? Like, why did they cut stuff out of the film?
I think it was some Netflix policy. I think I mentioned it to you, Dhruv.
Yeah, you have before. But
Right?
Is it what running time related? Or
mostly I think it's running time
related.
related.
Running time related, because they want
can't
like
they can find a way to split it, right? They've split everything. So एक half का एक episode और दूसरे
No, but Karthik Subbaraj's movies generally, most of his movies are 2 hours 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Easily.
45 minutes. All of his movies, mostly. I think except Mercury, I think that's like
Mercury
2 hours.
was less than 2 hours, I think.
Is it?
That's the silent film, right?
That's a silent
film.
Yeah. And that is that's a fine. I have nothing to say about it. It's a fine movie.
I'm with you.
I just think Prabhudeva is not the scariest person. Like, I'm not intimidated looking at Prabhudeva running towards me, because
I'm totally with you on that. But here, coming back to my problem with Mahaan, I feel after a certain point, let's say after like the 30-40 minute mark, I thought there was nothing going for it for the next 40 minutes, because it's like your generic story building up to a certain point.
So this is like from what point though? Like, what is the cutoff point in terms of narrative?
I think his after his post his rise, there's like another dealing with
the liquor baron.
Yeah. I thought it didn't interest me. I was like,
so not the one shot steady cam action scene with
so that's the thing. No, the making is great, but when everything around it for me never fell in place. I mean, I thought it was so underwritten. There's nothing for me to chew on.
Got it.
Because I need something coming at me all the time, so that if it's a Karthik Subbaraj movie in terms of like everything that I've seen, and from overwritten, this goes like super underwritten until it comes to the point where his son is introduced, and then the scenes get really fantastic. The staging of the scenes, and Vikram's acting I really liked, because I could feel what he was trying to do, and that's what I was trying to say before. Some of the things that worked for me in the second half also worked because of the things in the first half. In the underwritten parts also, there were like some things that were really fascinating in terms of his love for his son, even though it's not
not spoken, but I think there's like little bit of quieter moments, like
and that's all acting. I feel that for me, I thought it was all delivered in terms of acting, but when his emotional arc starts playing off in the second half, where he feels like, he's my son and all of that, and there are like a couple of scenes that are like super. So I was talking about the one scene with Satyavan, where which takes place on the bridge. I thought it was really well done. Like I really felt like the moral dilemma, and it's like the whole two sons thing is also coming here, right? Like it's like he's also my son, but like he's my biological son. He's the one who adopted me. I didn't adopt him. He adopted me as a father.
Yeah.
So all of that, when that thing comes into play, I was like so much into it. I was like, oh, this is going really well, and I was then fully invested in it.
Do you guys think then it would work better if it was like a parallel story, like like parallel story between the rise of one type of father and then the other opposite son, like cutting between.
I had this thing where I was like, this could work as a TV show. Actually, this could actually work as a show, like a mini series. You could cut into like 4 or 5 episodes, and I actually think it would work really well because of like the character arcs, how it sets up, and how it's really nice for a show. I think, especially what you're saying. Like I was just thinking, like, what if it was parallel? What if it was like were you seeing both of them together? But I think that way it would make it little bit more generic. I don't want to say it, but it's a little bit generic. But Sandeep was talking about the staging. That scene, that the one scene where he goes to confront his son with what is his name? Rocky, right?
Rocky.
Rocky.
So,
Rakesh Christopher.
So Rocky, and that scene, there's like one thing with the trains, right?
Yeah.
So you see the first time the train passes, like he's bleeding his son. The second time the train passes, he's dead. The Rocky is dead. Third time the train passes, they are both like against each other. So in that scene itself, his arc, he's turning over his character. Like he's completely changed. And I think that's why I liked it, because that scene was really nice in the way it's set up and the everything. And that's the good part about Subbaraj filmmaking, that it's not said. Like the train scening, it's like it's not said. You can understand it. I'll tell you one thing from Pizza. Okay, his first debut film. It's a horror movie.
Don't reveal everything to Dhruv.
No, I'm not revealing.
Watch it.
I've seen the Hindi version.
You've seen the Hindi version of it.
No, I'm not revealing spoilers. But the horror in that. So in Pizza, there's like 2 jump scares. I think maximum there are like 3 jump scares. And the horror. So there's this part in that movie where the camera, like, so you have the camera facing Vijay Sethupath's character. It goes and you see the ghost standing there. But then there's no musical cues, and like horror movies go for a musical cue or like a rise in like music. But there's no musical cue. It's just they're just standing there, and it's still chilly. You feel creepy because they're standing and looking at it. And even there's a time lapse sequence, and like there's ghost is standing behind him. But but it's not like mentioned or it's pointed out. That's what Subbaraj filmmaking. It's nice. It's subtle. It's not like very subtle, like artsy. But it's also like not overplayed. It's on the level where he doesn't treat the audience like we are dumb people. He is like, you can understand this thing. Like
absolutely.
I hope that you can understand this thing. That's also my biggest problem about it. It just overplays everything. It explains everything.
It does explain a lot.
I think I was seeing, I don't remember where I read it, but somebody was like, you see the cross, like in that fight scene, after the fight scene, like Bobby Simha's character, he's like looking at the cross, and then Vikram is standing on the thing, and he's like, "You are my god, Neera and Deo." And it's like, you don't have to say that. You can
make it out,
and you can be like, it's really
that's the part where I said it's like underwritten, like because I was like, there was like too much of it. But
no, but I think, like, again, you guys have like for someone who was looking at it very much from like fresh eyes, and like I don't know, I think a lot of it has to do with when I've watched this film, and it's like post something that I think like I've watched. I can't believe I keep on going back to this, but I saw a film prior to this which I think has no identity, and so when I saw this, I was just wowed by the fact that, like you guys mentioned that scene, right, when they are fighting or they confront each other with the Rocky character. I thought that was a brilliantly well staged scene, and I thought, even so, again, I think my first half, I was not bothered with it that much, is because I thought he knew that we know these character beats, so we just have to run past them, almost in a sense that, let's give it that much energy so that you can see how quickly he thinks he's rising from, because he wants that what is that called, like the effect, right? Because he's been so repressed by his the Gandhian principles in the beginning, that I thought everything, his rise needs to have that sort of kinetic energy to it, and I thought it did. So I thought the fact that they were running through every character beat, moment, development kind of compensated for that. And then once his son enters, I enjoyed the sort of push and pull between the extreme attitudes, like just because I told you I'm a fan of the whole theme it's going for in any case. So I know it's like overplayed and oversaid in the film, but like I liked how his son kind of is the other extreme of whatever. He's also another criminal, basically, in a different sort of light, right? So
you were talking about this thing. I think this movie, it should have started from the peak of his the downhill of his liquor baron. Then it should have probably cut back to the flashback and then gone back through his peak days, because I think that film works better that way, because like you said, the energy building, I think if it starts off like when he's sad, because I think that the third arc of the movie starts off from where like Rocky gets married and he's going inside, he's sitting in the car and he's like, you should also get married, but then he's like, like, you live like Rocky, he's alone, but sorry, live like Mahaan, he's alone, and Mahaan is like, no, it's not easy being alone. And I think that's a nice stage to start off the movie, where he's like, he's sad, he's alone, he has a big house, he has these many things, nobody to do anything with, and then it cuts to him going back and having that. And I don't think we needed that exposition. I feel like the starting bit, the exposition, I think it's important to the movie, but we could have done without it.
I mean the whole Mahaan thing in general, like, they do explain it a lot more than I thought they would at one point, because I thought they are really going for the whole extreme angle and they will never sort of explain it, but then Vikram has to explain it to the wife character later on, which I thought was very sort of that kind of blocked the momentum that you guys are talking about, right? In the second half also, I thought that really stopped the film there. I was like, okay, I got everything of that from whatever has happened. So I thought that was and I honestly thought the ending was a little too convoluted. Like, I just genuinely felt a little lost with backstabbing. Like, there's a lot
but
of
that
like,
he does he did that
staple?
in another film also.
Okay.
I think since Peta has become a trademark, I think. Doing I'm backstabbing. No, but actually I like that, because
even I quite like,
because Vikram's character, he's skilled. Okay, we are going for spoilers because he's skilled. His like own should I call him stepson or like his son? Rocky dies. Yeah, Rocky dies in his own, because of him. He takes him to him and he kills his best friend. And he's like in emotional stress. And then Dhruv Vikram's character is like, that's a very obvious thing. Like, as obviously you see it coming, that he obviously the minister did not kidnap his son. But and then at that moment there's a camera zoom in and you are like, and then that's what I would expect like Mahaan to do. Like, I would expect that character to do that, because he is pissed off, right? Like other movies, his character would have cried or done something and they would just ended the movie. But here he's like, okay, fine, he's pissed off, and he goes to the final extreme of like torturing his son and making him a criminal. Like, he's like, and that's why he's like, I will play with your emotions, right? Because his son is an extremely emotional character. So he's like, I'll play with your emotions, and he takes him through a whole game, and then in his own way, he makes his son also a criminal, right? And where he shows like, we are not that different, right? You are just on one side, I am on this side. That's why I liked it, because that's how Karthik Subbaraj movies are done.
Exactly.
The characters are written. Like, you would expect someone to do that, right? Like, if somebody pissed you off, like you would not like just sit quiet and be like, you would not mumble off. You would probably say something back to them. That's my thinking. So I think that's why the ending works for me, because that's the characters react in the exact way you would expect them to do, and it finally shows that in the movie they're talking. Vikram's character even says like, this guy is just a criminal. He just has the law on his side, but he's like such a lunatic. Because
I thought it was much more going for the social commentary in that sense, like whatever principles there is
social that's why I say the movie is overly indulgent philosophical, because it's like putting it everywhere. Like, even the scene I mentioned where he's sending off the Rocky people, that day he's looking at this little Gandhi kid, comes up and walks up to him and gives us a natural life. I'm like, why it doesn't add anything to it. Like, there's nothing about it. Maybe it's like reminds him of his like old times of how he was, but it doesn't add anything else. So
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I don't have like anything else to say, because I was just going on the same point that it doesn't add anything. And so when this part comes in, when he finally like takes revenge on his son, you start like, okay, this makes sense. This is how the character should have been. Overly cynical, overly like, this character who's he like that. Okay, so I have nothing else to say. I just you can go. Sorry.
No. So I mean, I can still be okay with something like that, like a kid coming and giving the flag to him. But the thing that really bothered me was there was this one point where where they cut to Simran's character about what she's been doing, and then they show she's part of an ideology cult.
Like
But
your
there's nothing
favorite
much to
Sacred Games thing, right?
No, but like that's not the point. I'm like, but do something with it, like, because in other films, like let's say Ravi, there's one part where the film becomes like a heist movie,
Hmm.
and it really explores that part. Like it really goes there with the characters and
Okay.
does that. Here,
But I thought the reason, or
felt-
like, I mean, I don't know. Again, this probably works better in his other films, but I thought here it was done very intentionally that the Dhruv Vikram
Hmm.
character and the mother character were not underdeveloped, but less developed, I guess, just because they were the villains, I think, like the big villains, I guess, rather than the Vikram character. So I don't know how much of that boundary breaking of
Hmm.
villains, because by the end I was like, he's clearly the worse guy than this guy, in my mind at least. Like the Dhruv Vikram character and the mother with their whole sort of ideology were like the quote unquote villains versus like the Vikram
but
character.
that's what I'm saying. No, like if there is something that happens,
Yeah,
and when something happens later on,
Yeah.
impact in the later on feels, and it feels earned. Like my biggest
fair enough. Yeah.
the thing that I always like appreciate is when you do something in the beginning and then it really means something later on.
Yeah.
Like it feels earned, like why this is
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
Like I felt like the ideology cult was happening. I was like, oh fuck,
Nice.
it's going in that direction.
Yeah.
Like it was surprising.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this is going in that direction. But there's nothing really that happens beyond
It's
that.
a montage
which is-
only, no? Like, isn't
Yeah,
that-
it's even if it's a montage, like he could have done something with it.
Got it.
Because I feel he's always there thinking about doing something very wacky or
Hmm.
going ahead, committing to a certain idea and just going ahead. Because in Eravi, the film is about something else, but then it becomes something else.
Hmm.
I mean, there are certain moments.
But
where
it
it
transitions
goes
also
somewhere.
nicely. Like that movie, Ravi, it transitions nicely. It goes from this
Yeah.
to this, but it does it really well where you don't
Exactly.
you don't really notice it. And
Exactly.
it does the
Exactly.
genre shift really well.
Exactly.
But is that you guys have watched everything? So is this more just a matter of bigger scale, bigger whatever thing, restricting a
think so.
filmmaker like that?
No,
way, or
not restricting. I think there is a certain sense of like a change in style since Petta. Actually, since Mercury, if you want to see that way, where he brought like a certain social commentary backtrack to a genre horror thriller silent film, where he's experimenting with the silent formula and also making a genre film, and then adding like a social issue to it. Which I mean, I don't love that movie as much. But I really appreciate the effort that went into making it. There are like certain things that are happening. It pays homages to even like Pushpak and everything.
Yeah, it like the makeup in the cinematography and the makeup in the movie is really good.
Yeah, I mean there is a certain tone to it, which is really like I was like, oh, this is going for something. But after a certain point, it became like, oh, this has gone into some other genre space altogether, which I'm still okay with it, but it comes off as too heavy-handed for me. Then in Petta, he goes back to his original wacky style of like crazy people doing like things, and it was a huge big time homage to.
no, which is the
Rajinikanth.
biggest sort of Petta might be the biggest film, right? Considering Rajinikanth's presence.
So
or is it-
Karthik Subbaraj is a Rajni fanboy. He's
Huge.
there's a
fanboy.
there's fairly
Massive.
big references here also, no, in Mahaan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annamalai and
In Jigar Tanda, there are so many references to Rajni.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
So, but okay, I'll tell you one reason to watch Jigar Tanda. There is a great Gangs of Wasseypur reference. It is so good. If you for that reference only, you can watch Jigar Tanda because it's so.
No,
Which one?
I'm interested in the filmmaker in general now. I want to watch his stuff. Yeah.
Jigar Tanda, the one where the guy, like the third henchman, who's like, oh, I'll do this, and then they send him. So they Siddharth and Karnakaran wake up in the house, and then Kala Ray is playing on the TV. Kala Ray is playing, and he's just sitting in the Nawazin Siddiqui. That's a great reference actually.
Yeah, I mean, but see, that's the thing, right? Like, there's like a lot of things that go for him. Like, he's doing so many things in the background as well that like add up to so much. Even like the opening scene, and that is also another thing that he does. Like, he starts his films at a certain point where you think, how did that character lead up to this point? And then he goes into the flashback. He does that quite a lot. That's his style. But here it feels like he's doing it for like not for like the effect of it. Like,
He's just
I mean,
doing it just he just is like,
yeah.
okay, this
It's a
will work.
technique that he can use.
People will
Okay.
whistle on the screen, we will all shout, and everyone will go home and sleep. That's he's going for the. This is a theater-made movie. I don't want to say anything
Absolutely.
They
I
did not
agree.
release at all in cinemas.
else. So they had a special
Okay.
screening for the actors only, I think, but they
Okay.
didn't.
But yeah, I mean, this was like, and I mean, Jagame Thandiram, like, see, I will always appreciate him as a director, because even if there are flaws in films, his directing is still top notch. Like, if you watch Jagame Thandiram, one scene that has always stayed with me is the like, Dhruv, when you'll see it, you'll probably know it. But there's one short scene with like 360. It goes between two characters, and then there's like certain power shift going on. I was like, boss, that is like some really, really good stuff. I was like, oh, this is like really good. And in that film also, like, the thing that I didn't like was how the film transitions to what, like Maheedhar said, like, you know, there like it transitions into something else very naturally, it flows. And in that film, Jagame Thandiram also, like, I don't know why I'm talking so much about Jagame Thandiram. It transitions so much towards that cause with just one flashback scene. I was like, I don't know if that convinced me for a change of heart of this kind of a character.
Yeah. Also,
Because-
Karthik Subbaraj, like Peta, we talk about Peta, he puts his 100% into Peta, I think. Because so I'll tell you, Karthik Subbaraj, even his side characters are really memorable. Like, you'll never his side characters are also well written. Like, they're not just there to serve the function of the story. Like, okay, or
the lead.
Yeah, like in Iraivi, right? Karnakaran's character, the thief, like the goon guy.
Yeah.
Like, he could have easily like been an underwritten character. Like, okay, nothing he's doing, but he feels like a character. Like, he doesn't feel like oh, he's just there to serve the person.
Yeah.
There's motivation, and like, you know what happens, Sandeep. You know what happens in the movie. Like, So for what happens in that movie, his character is well written, and all the side characters in all of his movies,
Everyone.
even in Peta, I would say Pizza maybe a little weaker on the side, but
Pizza was a different, because there was like more like a point of view film, right?
yeah, it was.
I know the story of Pizza. I've just seen it in a much worse directorial hand.
I think you can still appreciate the story of the Tamil one even after watching the
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, Pizza was a phenomenon because everybody was talking about that the twist ending. I think that was propagated in the few years we've seen the twist endings. I think that Pizza has popularized the twist ending of like, oh, now for something completely different. Yeah, for no reason. Yeah, they just changed. And Pizza, it's done well because it's a good movie with a good screenplay.
It's a proper double bluff.
Yeah, it's a proper double bluff. Like, my dad, when I was a kid, he watched Pizza in the theater and narrated the whole story. So I knew what was happening. He scared me. He came and he scared me, like, the girl sits on the top. I'm like, what are you talking about? So, but then I still really liked it because, like I said before, the filmmaking is really nice. It never feels like a cheap horror film. It feels like there are just a lot of scenes where he's just walking in the dark, no music, just ambient sounds, and you still like you're scared, like legitimately scared, and you are like, it's not cheaply made, it's not cheaply done for the thrills and the whole like I said, the way there's no jump scares, like maximum 2 jump scares at best, and they are also used very effectively. They're at the correct point as opposed to, and even when the twist happens, it's done really well. I think some people might have a problem with how Karthik Subbaraj does his exposition. Like, I think it's a trope where it's like, oh, you explain back the whole thing again, and maybe some people don't like it as much. But it's still like the way he does it is why it works. You can accept those things. And Peta is like 100% of him. He's put everything into that movie, into every character. All of his characters are like. There's this one joke in that movie where he's just sitting. Rajni is sitting there, and the goons are coming in, and Rajni is like, "You get. I'm not gonna spare anybody here." Like, he says in Tamil in a massier way. I would say it in Tamil.
I know.
Yeah, so he's like, he's like, I will kill all of you. I won't spare anybody. And one guy just walks off. He's like, yeah. So Rajni is like, if you care about your family or your wife, just go walk up. And the guy walks off. Yeah. That's what we're talking about, right? That's a good one. And in Mahaan, none of that is there. There's no wagon. It all takes itself very seriously. The character all. It's very massy. It's very indulgent in itself. It's very long. Like most Karthik Subbaraj films, you won't feel the length. Like Jigar Tanda, you will hardly feel the length. Peta, you will hardly feel the length. Iraivi, I felt the length a little bit. But most of it, when he's really good, you will never feel like the movie is long. Jagametandram, I just felt was like where it was going, they were stretching. The ending of Jagametandram is he's in a desert somewhere. I don't know how it ends. I saw it fairly recently only, but I'm still like, where did it end? He's somewhere in a desert. It's putting him, I don't know.
I know what you're saying.
Listen, if you tell me now any filmmaker or film is trying to impose like any style that's original and unique, I'm happily going to explore that now. I've realized the importance of that after this weekend by seeing films which don't use it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching all his work.
With Mahaan, like how Maheedhar has also said, the last 45 minutes really worked for him. I think the last 45 minutes are genuinely really, really good of like writing and like directing and everything that is involved in the making. I'm okay with the first 30, 35, 40 minutes also, but the middle part where it lags, where it sags, right? That is where I had way too many things to talk about. I was like, why this, why that? Like, if I'm doing all of that, then I think I'm not engaged with the film.
Yeah.
And that didn't really happen necessarily with his earlier films, except like Jagametandram also. So I feel there is like the change in style. There's a lot to it because now he's, I think, expanding because if you see his earlier films, they are like very extremely character driven. There is plot, but these characters are overpowering the plot thing. It was only in Petta where there was like too much of plot towards the end, and then it has been like very plot filled in JT and Mahaan as well. So I feel there is like something that he's trying to do. He's making these films not just for like these certain characters in a contained shell, but he's also like going big with the scale, not in terms of like the stars that are coming in, but also in terms of like his stories are like sprawling now in terms like in Jagametandram it goes to a desert at some point, and
Iraq, it goes to Iran. They drop off that James Gunn.
Don't say.
I don't think
you can say it. I'll watch it.
I don't think spoiling Jagametandram is going to help anybody. I don't think. I think out of context that movie just sounds even bizarre.
No, you can spoil. I have no problem with spoilers. Go ahead.
I feel like
I'm sorry, but I have to say this. While we're on Jagametandram, he gives him a street on London, and I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, that part. Okay. Like so with Jagametandram, after the first like the opening 20-25 minutes, I was after that once he goes to London, I was out of the movie.
No, like I thought that's really character is like, I'll make Barotas and Kurma, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's joking. Obviously, he's being joking. But then he actually opens a Barota shop. I'm like, what is he doing? I thought he was joking. And then that movie is a trip, man. I think I feel like I can say Mahaan is like 5% better than Jagametandram. At least
not 5% is too harsh, but
no, I legitimately think the first was a drag. I legitimately thought the first was like what you said. You said montage. One scene montage. I felt that's what the first hour of the movie was at least.
It is like that. Yeah. It is like that. I just didn't mind it.
And then also like the coincidence, like so when he meets Bobby Simha's character and he's like, oh, we are childhood friends. That was acceptable. That's a really nice. But then when they are like, oh, this guy's a politician, and oh, this guy was the guy who cheated, and I'm like, okay, you didn't need to that. I don't think that really did anything to their relationship, because their relationship was like he was cheating them out, and he was like they were like cheating him out, or they were like not treating properly. That doesn't really make any difference. They don't expand on the childhood part as well. Like,
except the philosophy from the beginning and the end.
It's like just people are the same and sort of like that. Like they don't.
The whole gameplay.
So that just when he was like, oh, you are the guy I met when I was a kid. I'm like, okay, you didn't have like, what is happening? Why is this guy? It doesn't matter. They're childhood friends. It's just it's like one scene where like, oh wow, they're friends. Okay, then nothing else. They don't even acknowledge that. I think later where they're like, oh, when you remember when kids. No, nothing like that. They just talk about business. And
looks disappointed.
No, I mean I understand that, because in hindsight I do feel all of these problems. Like the whole middle section really doesn't work. Like I'm emphasizing too much because I really think there's like a very good movie in there. Like there's a really good film in there. It's just that there is in terms of like screenplay, there should have been something more. There could have been some more explorations of going in other places, just like exploring. Like he should have like taken more time to, because at first when I caught up with Arrival at some point, like I think I caught up with it in 2017 only, or 2018, earlier 2018, yeah. Oh yeah, because I wanted to watch Mercury, and Mercury was releasing on April 12th of 2018. So I was like, I'll catch up with everything before Mercury comes in. And at that point, I was so mesmerized by the fact that how does he write these films in so less time? Because for me at that time, when I used to like write or pretend to write, I used to take too much time to like think and do this. And I thought how he's like some really gifted, talented writer to come up with so many things and so many characters and so many like things that are happening
So
and
this,
everything.
this is also an industry problem. I think this was also in the recent FC South film roundtable.
Okay.
Nelson, director of Doctor, he's talking about it
Doctor,
where so South Tamil industry basically South industry, I think mostly how it works is the producer is like, you write a script in 3 months, you direct it in like 3 months, over, distribute it, that's it. So that's how the South Indian production works. And he was talking about how it's a very stressful like process of writing, because 3 months, like it's such a close time, and not every writer can write something in 3 months, right? Some people will probably take a little longer than that. But like what he said, like he probably has like he's a bigger director, so I'm probably saying here like probably 3-4 months. Okay, 4 months, 5 months, something like that. But then even in that, you have to write a big story with so many characters, build this whole world, and close it off together. That's a really difficult. With Jigar Tanda, I don't know how. Like I think Jigar Tanda was an older script of his, but like he's been writing for a while. But still, you to take that and completely close it off, the world and everything. I think Jigar Tanda is a great film. The way it closes off also. So it's a great end for the characters, all the characters involved.
Yeah.
But then you have Mahaan and the cat, and I think from Peta he started off with this, like what he was saying before. He started off with this open-ended kind of. Okay, I won't spoil Peta for you, but in this movie also it ends off open-ended.
It is. Yeah.
Wait, you think there can be a sequel?
Yeah, exactly. That's what, right. And they're both looking at the camera like why don't you just close out the film? Like you could have closed out the film with just like Vikram drinking and it would have ended. That would have been a good ending. Instead, you have to do that thing where they are like parallel.
Screen.
Yeah, exactly. So it should, like in the time, like I think might have, I don't know if it was cut. Maybe it would have. I don't know if the movie's cut, because I don't know about Netflix. I know, but I don't know about Prime. If they like
Prime, I
It
think
doesn't look like it's cut also. Like it doesn't seem like it
it's
needs
not.
extra like stuff to like.
I think the
play.
songs
I mean,
are cut off
unless-
in half. I think the songs are cut off.
Okay, maybe.
That could be a possibility, but it's not like as jarring as how
In Jaga,
JT was.
Yeah. In JT, they cut out like whole portions and they cut out like 2 other songs. like in JT, I think that when he's talking to Aishwarya Lakshmi's character, who by the way, great actress, Maya Nadi, I love that film. But yeah, so
same.
Yeah, so but they're talking with each other, and so you are like, why are they talking? There's a song supposed to be there where he's like singing the song, but they cut it out the movie. So they're just randomly talking, and they are like, and he's saying that I was like, yesterday I was there, I was trying to talk with you, and there's no context to that. Then only if you know that there's a song cut, you would know that
that's the point.
There's a context to that scene.
So strange. I think we discussed this before, but it seems so strange to me that Netflix is imposing all this, considering what garbage they produce sometimes.
I think it's Netflix India specifically, not
India.
Like
Okay.
Netflix India itself.
I think that happened with some other movie also that came on Netflix. I don't remember. I think I spoke to you about it in some other episode.
Maybe there was one more. Yeah.
There was one more where I was like, oh, they cut it out, and it was already put it out in public by some filmmaker. Okay, they asked me to.
What's the recent thing with some Andrew Dominic or someone, right? Some filmmaker who made like an NC-17 film for Netflix, but Netflix basically is cutting the whole thing themselves. Like they didn't allow him the full directorial authority because it was not according to their standards. So we are just converting streaming to like normal like theater going.
Yeah, TV.
Have you seen Decoupled, the new show?
No, I've not. I've heard it's bad.
It's not bad. It's enjoyably bad, I would say. Okay. But in that they have a little bit of glimpse of how Netflix works there. So they're like, we will give you something. You give us something.
It's meta, right? It's something meta.
It's kind of meta. Like it kind of meta. So Madhavan's character is approached by Netflix to write something or do something. I don't remember exactly what happens. I watched it on like very casually. I was like, I don't have anything to watch while eating this, so I started off. No, but in that, so they are like Netflix will, so they'll be like, you pitch, so they're like, you pitch something to us, you, and we will look into it. You do this, we'll give you the notes on it, and then we'll. I think that's how generally it works in Netflix also. Except maybe Anurag Kashyap doesn't have to do that. Maybe he's like, I'll do. That's why he's making whatever he's making recently.
What is he making?
Choked. I heard Choked was not that good.
Choked was not good.
Yeah,
Sangeet will also confirm that, and he likes everything else. Anurag Kashyap.
Where my objectivity died, man. I mean, my subjectivity died that day.
So yeah, I think I don't know why they don't give freedom. Is it like a racism thing? Maybe they're not. The South filmmakers are like, we won't give you this freedom.
No. This happened with something else also. Like I don't
some Hindi
remember
movie
what.
only. You told me. So
Yeah. Something had happened, and I was like, oh, this had happened. We discussed in some earlier episode. I just can't recall.
I've forgotten which.
But Amazon wouldn't impose all of that, because if you see like Sarpatta and all of that, they don't. Doesn't look like they would have, because they're all 3 hours almost 3 hours.
It probably should impose that for some films though.
Sorry?
Amazon probably should impose that for some films.
But there is genuinely that editor strike is real.
It is real.
You're just slandering without. You should just come out with it. You're just slandering the movie.
No. For Maheedhar, the context is more like me and Dhruv. We've been like wanting to watch some movies, and then we're like, when we look at the runtime, it's almost 2.5 hours. I'm like, why are all these movies that have been releasing all 2.5 hours? I don't mind long movies, but
he doesn't mind. I literally texted him whatever. I texted him.
I think
why is it
people are like,
2.5 hours?
whatever theater movies, they're not releasing in theater, they're like putting on OTT, like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Oh, screw it, just put it on OTT. I think I
think I can understand it with this Mahaan, or like, I don't know, like some other movies also which are like blockbustery in their sort of mentality, but like even smaller movies, and I guess even Hollywood is releasing like 2.5 hour movies, and I'm just like, what is happening?
All of the latest, all the contenders and all are all 2 hours plus, 2 hours 10 minutes plus.
2 hours, and like I'm like, where are the 1 hour 30-minute movies? And the one I watched, I don't like also, so it doesn't really like account for it. So
no, but the editor strike is here. But okay, any more thoughts on Mahaan? What do you think? Like, should people watch it, or what do you think? Like, closing thoughts.
I think you should at least. I don't think it's bad giving it over. Like, I would say, don't watch Jacob Sandro. Just avoid that movie. Block it on your Netflix if you can block it on Netflix. I think Mahaan is worth a try.
Very harsh.
I think Mahaan is worth a try. I don't think I think I like the least out of us three here, but I still think it's has something for a lot of people. Like, I think if like some people can appreciate the filmmaking more. I think some people like the writing. I have talked to some people, they're like, I really like the writing. I'm like, what do you like about this? Oh, I don't know what you like about it. I think it's fine. You can give it a watch. I think this is a movie that's like mostly I think it's a okay-ish movie. Very not the best Karthik Subbaraj movie. Obviously, we know. We are all waiting for a comeback from him. I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll hold on.
What's he making next?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything like in his books right now. Or nothing that's been confirmed. No, wait. I think there's something did come. I think.
Yeah. Wait. Let me Google it. Karthik Subbaraj upcoming movies. Oh, he's making something with Dhanush. Wait, no. I can't find something. But something was said that he's going to do this, like that there was already
the Paranjit was doing something. They announced Paranjit is doing something. They announced Lokesh Kanagaraj is doing something.
Oh wait. He's announced it with Rajnikant.
No, that's Nelson. Nelson is doing something with Rajnikant.
No. This was announced in June 2021 that he's doing something with Rajnikant.
Again?
Yeah. Rajnikant's next after Annate to be helmed by Petta director Karthik Subbaraj.
No, but I also heard
he's doing with Nelson. Bro, let Nelson's second movie come out, then he should have signed.
I really wanted. No, I'm waiting for Beast also, but
that's what I'm saying. I'm waiting for Beast, but like let's see how Beast is, and then it's like two.
No, I'm excited. I don't know. I want to know what he does with Rajni. What he can.
I mean, we are digressing, but the point is, I never liked Vijay. I've never liked Vijay and his movies. And that's a hot take, but I never liked it. But when Master came out, I was like, boss, that's a bloody good movie. Master and Lokesh Kanagaraj, I really like. I mean, I enjoyed Master. So I thought like Lokesh Kanagaraj doing it with Kamal Hassan was like the peak. I hope that holds up.
If that screws up, will be so mad. I'm waiting for it.
And I have this very strong feeling at the back of my head, he's going to screw up.
No, please don't say that. Okay. I just want Kamal Hassan. No, I don't think if it's not Lokesh Kanagaraj, Kamal Hassan will probably do something bad because you've seen the recent Kamal Hassan, what he's been doing. I don't think. But you threw mud on my face when you said you don't like Vijay. So I grew up with Vijay movies. I've been watching.
No, so here's the thing. I never got to enjoy his movies. Like Tupaki was like okay, like good, but like others I've never like enjoyed. Not Big Hill. What was the one with football? Football was Big Hill.
Big Hill. That was Big Hill.
And what was that movie with A.R. Murugadoss? Not Katti. The one he did. Sarkar.
I have a headache. I legitimately.
I watched it in theater. I watched it in theater and I was like.
I had a headache. I was like, what am I watching? I am like, what?
Murugadoss. I don't know what even Murugadoss is doing, man. Like even with Darbar also, I don't know what he did with Darbar. Like I don't really get pissed with films this early, but like Murugadoss is really pissing and whatever. And so yeah, I mean, I've never really enjoyed Vijay's movies. What other movies did I not enjoy? Like basically, I've seen most of his 2008 onwards because
have you watched Pokeri though?
Yeah, Wanted thing. Yeah, I've seen Pokeri, but like I'm not that big a fan of like Pokeri. I just never
this
enjoyed.
is all been remade in Hindi then.
Yeah,
most of them.
Pokeri came from Telugu, then came Tamil, and then I think Prabhudeva.
Pokeri was directed by Prabhudeva, no?
Yeah.
And then he went and made.
No. Prabhudeva, no. In Tamil, I think I don't know who did in Tamil. Telugu was Puri Jagannath. Tamil, I don't know who did it.
Puri Jagannath. Tamil, I think Prabhudeva only did.
Yeah, so then he went, and then he came to Hindi and some. I think he's the Prabhudeva took all the IPs from all South Indian movies, and he went to Hindi and because he made that there's this old
Rowdy Rathod he made, no? What did he make?
Vikram-starrer.
Yeah, Vikram-starrer Rajamouli's movie. No, you guys, you know this movie called Ramayana Vastavaya, right?
Yeah.
Nuvu Sananth.
Yeah, that's that. He took that old movie and he remade it.
He made it in 2013. Yeah, with that the producer's son, Ramesh Taurani's son.
Girish something.
That was like Girish Taurani. You're right. Nice.
That had one song that became very popular.
Yeah.
Right.
I just remember that because
that's the song, right?
Now this is going to be the selling point of this podcast. Maheedhar is singing. No, I remember because two Shruti Hassan movies released on the same day as D-Day and Ramayana Vastavaya came on 19 July 2013. I remember.
What is this obsession with remembering movie release?
I mean, that's
I also have this obsession. I remember the date of what if it's specifically if I like the movie or if I like the experience of it, I'll probably remember the date of it.
No, I just like normally remember everything if it's like I just remember it via like use the releasing of movies as my life updates. Oh, that day that had released. Oh, so I did that, but that's another one. Okay, we should close it. I don't know where we've gone with this. But Dhruv, your closing thoughts. I think you didn't get to talk so much about.
No, but I don't have much to talk, because I'm a newcomer to this. So which is why I think I liked it more than I guess because I didn't have that reference point, right? So
but for you, you've always been like you've never seen this much. So this was more like I should watch more. So let me watch it.
Yeah. No, I want to watch more though after this. Like especially because you guys have told me that the other stuff is also better, minus the Dhanush recent film. But I really want to watch it just because, again, like to me, the writing. I think I just pay less attention to writing nowadays. I just want someone to have like a directorial personality and just go for it in any way, shape, or form, right? So if that is what you guys, and you are saying that his writing is anyways better in his earlier work, so that anyways bodes well. And I'm a fan of the style, honestly. I like the full throttle, go for it.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
So, you said you like directorial styles more than okay. You should watch Amal Neer's movies. I am
You
Amal
really
Neeraj,
like Amal Neeraj.
I love Amal Neeraj. I
Malayalam
think
movies.
if you like the style over substance kind of movies, Amal Neeraj is probably you should watch all of his movies. Most of them are on all platforms, I think.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
One
I
more
mean,
person
Amal
I have
Neeraj is
to
coming
watch.
with the new Mammootty movie also. right?
Yeah, it's coming out next month. I've been hyped. I've been hyped for it since like last year.
I don't know. I'm not so convinced, man. Like Mammootty movies, except like a few movies, they've been all.
No. So Amal Neeraj started out with Big B, which is with the Amal Neeraj.
I know. I've seen Big B.
Yeah, obviously, right. So and I'm not expecting like the best movie. I just want the best experience. I don't care about Amal Neeraj writing. It's very basic. Like if you've seen Varadan, you know that movie is basically if you
Straw Dogs.
Varadan is basically if you don't like misogyny, hit like on this post. That's the movie. That's the debut of that movie. But it's just how he does it. But it's the best style of a substance. Also, while we're on that Mahaan, there's this review. I forgot to talk about this one. I think not Bharat Vatangan review, another film companion's other review, and I think it's written with so much thrown at us. Mahaan feels like a drunken conversation with a friend's friend. You don't really care for them, but you listen anyway because you're doing someone a favor. In this case, my career as a film critic.
Who wrote this?
I don't remember the name of this person, but yeah, they came out before Bharat Vatangan's review. And I took the screenshot, and a friend of mine sent the exact same screenshot to me. And I'm like, I already took the screenshot.
No, but for me, I think I feel you should really, like, whoever's listening, and if you've not seen Mahaan, you should definitely watch Mahaan. I feel I felt there were like a lot of things to appreciate in it, even though in the bigger scheme of things, it's not anywhere near my favorites or as like it's a good, okayish, good movie. Like you can watch it, but I feel there is something about Karthik Subbaraj that when he collaborates with a star, there is something that comes off. When he did with Rajnikant, there was like a lot in that film. I just thought there should have been more when Vikram is there, because I've seen a lot of Vikram movies in the last 10 years, in the last 7, 8 years. And most of them have been like super bad, but Vikram has been really good in those movies. And Vikram is such a good actor. I've always like, when is he going to get his due? When is he going to get his really good movie? So this is a good Vikram movie, but this is not a very good Karthik Subbaraj movie.
Vikram as a performer he's really like
he's really good in this. Yeah.
In his poorest of the poorest movies, I don't want to say shit, but in his poorest of the poorest movies, like Irumugan and all those movies, he's literally really good. But the movies, like, I don't know what to say about those movies.
I don't think Irumugan is as bad as I. That's just my opinion. I can watch Irumugan. I would rather watch Irumugan and then watch I, man. I'm very sorry. I is too long. It's too dramatic.
3 hours, 16 minutes. I remember.
I saw it on TV and in Hindi I watched it because I was like, whatever I was.
I went to theater.
No, but Vikram is a great. There's this movie of Vikram called I forgot the movie. Deva Tirumagan. I don't remember the name of the movie, but he played. So Vikram is very known for playing handicapped, mentally challenged characters, handicapped characters.
Pitamagan.
Yeah, Pitamagan. And then this movie, Deva Tirumagal, he plays a mentally challenged man, like a grown man. And the way he completely transforms, like you wouldn't look at him and say, oh, this is Vikram. Like he transforms. He's like thin, his hairstyle, the way he speaks, the mannerisms. Like it's so down to a T. Like you will not doubt it. Apparently, he spent time with people like this for a long time to develop that character. And even for like Pitamagan, he was shooting for Pitamagan, and but then Pitamagan got like the shooting stopped, and he couldn't. So he was off media. He maintained the character until he didn't do any other movies until he continued because he wanted to maintain the look. So he's like he was probably like the method actor, and I think recently all of his movies are like, oh, I can do method acting, so I'll just do that. Like, I can wear the costume, I can do that.
No, what is that other Bala movie which was made in Hindi also? What's the other Bala movie? After Pitamagan, he made it.
Is it Paradesi?
No, it was not Paradesi. Paradesi came later. I'm talking. Oh no, not Paradesi. Paradesi. What came before Paradesi? The Tere Naam remake, man. I mean, Tere Naam was remade from that movie.
Okay, wait. I don't know if it's
Salman Khan's career based on this only, or what? Like remakes.
I love that movie. Yeah, wait. I'm telling you. It was one of my favorites when I watched it.
Are you talking about Avaniman?
No, not that one either. That is Arya. I'm talking about the one with Vikram only. Yeah, Setu. Yeah.
Oh, Sedu. Okay.
Yeah. Setu and
Bala. I don't think I watched Bala movies when I was a kid. I think I watched Pitamagan. And Avani one. I don't think I watched a lot of movies because these movies are more mature content. So I don't think.
Yeah. I mean,
you will understand them.
Like his later movies, I don't know what has happened to Bala, but that's not the conversation. Okay.
Oh yeah.
We should.
By the way, Bala. Talk about Bala. Varma.
Oh, Dhruv Vikram's original.
Varma.
Is this his first movie or is this like...
No, Dhruv Vikram's unofficially third movie.
Okay.
So Dhruv Vikram started off with Varma, which was the remake of Arjun Reddy with Bala. But then the producer
didn't like it.
Yeah. So then he got some Sandeep Reddy Vanga's protege.
No, he got his assistant director.
Yeah. So he got him to direct the other version, Aditya Varma, but they released Varma both. Also on platforms later, so you can watch both.
I haven't seen Varma, but I should.
I can say it's not a big like praise, but Aditya Varma is technically and dialogue wise better than Varma. I think I can say this much.
Oh shit! Okay, disservice to Bala, but no. We'll do one episode one day discussing about Bala or some director like that, which is like, or even like Selva Raghavan.
Definitely.
Which Dhruv doesn't have context, but
you give me homework from like a while back.
Hopefully Karthik can join in, who hasn't joined in over months now. Okay, so Karthik, join in next time.
You think he's listening?
Yeah, he'll listen. I'll make him listen. Don't worry. But yeah, okay. So this is the end of the episode. I think we discussed fair amount of stuff, not just Mahaan, but more things. And thank you, Maheedhar, for coming in. Thank you for joining. You can follow Maheedhar on his Instagram page called Maheedhar.
No, it's not an active page, but yeah.
He's an Instagram influencer. You can see reels, remix.
They're gone. They're all deleted.
No. Put them back, man. Those sketches. One, I'll tell you after the recording which one I burst out laughing. But okay, yeah, you can follow him. You can follow Dhruv on Terminal Cinema on Instagram. You can follow me at Pixel Baba. You can also follow Queen is Dead on Instagram at queensdead.filmpodcast. Please follow us on Spotify and rate us on Spotify and or Apple Podcast, because that really helps us reaching out to more people. Share it with friends who love talking about films, and DM us your suggestions if you have any. This is the end of the podcast. Khatam.
And good evening, Mr. Handsome Salman Khan.
Thank you. आप dialogue
मैं नहीं लिखती हूँ, नहीं मैं नहीं लिखती
कुछ बोलेंगी?
हाँ बोलूंगी।
बोलिए ना।
ये जिस्म प्यार नहीं जानता, जानता है तो भूख, सिर्फ जिस्म की भूख। यही याद था अभी, मेमोरी खराब है।
जिस्म से याद है कि बड़ी फिट लग रही है। आपने जो फिटनेस वीडियो है,
एक और लॉन्च कर दिया मैंने।
किसने लॉन्च किया है?
नहीं, खुद मैंने।
तो आपको किसी की जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगी।
लेकिन but it's so funny, Salman. I get to see you on my launch day again.
तो नॉमिनेशन दिखा देते हैं
जी,
और मैं आपको जब तक देखते रहता हूँ।